Good evening, everyone. This is Azard again, coming at you with another video. The topic for today's video is going to be fitness, past, present, and future. A brief explanation of my history with fitness, working out, and in general a healthy lifestyle, or an attempt at a healthy lifestyle. So to begin with, I got into fitness shortly, a couple years after I got out of high school. As a teenager, I was not a healthy fellow, like many teenagers. I was thin, but didn't have any, I didn't put any effort into being healthy in any way. I ate whatever I wanted. I only ate once a day, and it was usually whatever I felt like eating, junk food most of the time. I didn't gain weight simply because I didn't intake a lot of calories. And I thought I was in perfectly fine shape for the longest time. I wouldn't say I was proud of my body, but I was perfectly happy with it. I didn't have any trouble with women, so I didn't see it as an issue for the longest time. And then fast forward a couple years, I get out of high school and I don't have a job. My mental health at that point had gone downhill a little bit. I was a bit depressed because I wasn't doing I felt like I wasn't doing anything with my life, and at the time I wasn't. So it just so happened that at the time I was living with a good friend of mine named Connor Frizzle, and he was living at my house, and he had started going to the gym just a few months prior to this point, and I noticed that he was making quite a lot of progress with this. His physique was getting pretty impressive. He was lean and muscular, and I really had nothing to do. So at some point he convinced me that I should start going to the gym with him, and I said, well, why not? Well, I'll give it a go. So I went and I joined up at the local gym, Anytime Fitness, which was a 24-hour gym. You had a little key card and you could access it at any time of the day. And we started working out together. And I started taking it quite seriously, actually. So I really started making a concerted effort to eat healthy. And at the time, I had no idea really what that meant, what that looked like. I cut out pretty much all the junk food, and I started eating a lot of protein, taking protein shakes, and eating a lot of chicken, raw vegetables, and stuff that is typically quite healthy. I didn't really have any concept of like calorie intake, muscle gain. All these things came quite a bit later. But as a new lifter, I started I started seeing results quite quickly. So Connor and I would work out typically. I would say we started out doing a 3 times a week full body with cardio in between, and we were walking to the gym on top of that, which was probably 30 minutes each way, which is actually a lot of cardio, especially compared to some of the later times of my life. So we would go and do our full body workout 3 times a week and eat pretty well, and we saw quite a lot of results together doing that. And for the first time in my life, I could truly say that I was in very good shape. I was lean, muscular, and I went up from about 130 pounds up to 145 pounds in just a couple months. So Connor was my gym buddy for about that long, and then he moved to the other side of town, and I was sort of left on my own, and I started working out by myself, and I did that for quite a little while, and continued to increase my lifts. And over time, I started indoctrinating friends into the lifestyle of doing the lifting and stuff like that. Most of them never took it quite as serious as me, because they didn't really adhere to any particular diet or anything like that, whereas I was very strict about my diet. So after I would say about 6 months of consistent eating and lifting, I was my progress had slowed down. So I had done a bunch of research, and I had learned about the bulking and cutting methods. Essentially, to build muscle, you need at least some amount of a calorie surplus to create new tissue, which is it's fairly straightforward at the end of the day. But I took it quite a little hard, and I started bulking quite hard at probably about a 500 calorie surplus, and I did see a drastic increase in my weight. So over the next several months, we're probably getting at a culminative effort of 6 to 8 months at this point. I was up to about 160 pounds, so 30 pounds heavier than when I had started. Now at this point with the bulking, I did notice, especially looking back, that a lot of my leanness was starting to fade away. I was getting fluffier, as they may say, and but I didn't really mind because I was really focused on gaining size and strength, which was definitely happening. So, in total, I went one whole year uninterrupted with my original fitness journey. And I ended up at about 165 pounds. My maximum bench press was 200 pounds. My maximum deadlift was 300 pounds. And if I believe my maximum squat was somewhere around 250, 275 pounds, I can't quite remember. With an impressive OHP of 140, I believe, which is, my shoulders were fairly gifted in that way. But unfortunately, after a certain amount of time, I'd gone to the gym all this time, and I started to struggle with motivation, and then I also started to have some health struggles. I've had a history of kidney stones. Kidney stones run in my family, and one summer I started to experience kidney stones again after not having them from several years before I had started going to the gym, and it was quite a big hit because it stopped me from working out completely, and I lost an enormous amount of weight, and I lost an enormous amount of motivation. I was quite depressed because I couldn't do much of anything. I was in consistent pain almost all the time, and it was just an awful time. And I dealt with these for several months in this case. So the kidney stones eventually resolved them. They always resolve themselves one way or another, and I got back into going to the gym, and at this point I start working out with Connor again, because I was taking automotive service and repair at NSCC Akerley campus in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and he was a personal trainer at the local Good Life Fitness gym in Dartmouth, so it was convenient for me to work out with him again because he was a very good gym partner, and also because I could go there before my class schedule. So once again, a very similar thing. I bounced back quite quickly because of the muscle memory, and started making gains once again. And this went on for several months, and then I started running into problems again. I started running into. I ended up with another kidney stone. That once again around the summertime, and I lost even more weight that time, I think. I would drop back down to 140, lose most of my muscle mass, not training for 6 months at a time plus. And this has sort of been a cycle for me throughout my life. The kidney stones, I haven't had a kidney stone in quite some time, but I lost a lot of motivation to work out, especially as various gym partners moved away, and as I got older and I was wrapped up in this and wrapped up in that, and it's a tough thing to go through. It's a tough thing to maintain because it's such a positive thing to be doing for your life, but it also takes a lot of motivation to do it.